At some point in our lives, we've all heard, seen, or believed a misconception about nuclear power, whether it was from Hollywood, a TV show, the news. We've all heard it somewhere. I mean, you watch The Simpsons and they have the giant barrels of green sludge that they're dumping into the rivers, the glowing green sludge. And, if you've ever driven past a nuclear power plant, you see the giant plumes of white smoke that are getting shot up into the atmosphere. And one of the things that scares people most about nuclear power is the fact that it produces radiation. But I think once you learn a little bit more about nuclear power, you'll be a little bit surprised. For example, those plumes of white smoke going up into the air aren't actually pollutants. It's just water vapor that's used to cool the reactors. Contrary to what The Simpsons will make you believe, nuclear power does not involve the use of glowing green sludge. They actually use small pellets of uranium that are about the size of a pencil eraser. And those get packed into fuel rods that then get dropped down into the reactor. And just one of those little tiny pellets that gets packed into that fuel rod produces the same amount of energy as 17,000 cubic feet of natural gas, 149 gallons of oil, or 1 ton of coal. That little teeny tiny eraser-sized piece of uranium produces the same amount of energy as 1 ton of coal. And, going on to radiation, that's probably the biggest thing that people are concerned about with nuclear power is, radiation poisoning. But studies have shown that if you stood outside of a nuclear power plant, right outside of a nuclear power plant for 1 year straight, you would only be receiving a third of the radiation that you receive getting a single X-ray. So it's virtually nothing compared to the radiation that you receive throughout the year. And now you might be asking the question, well, how much of our energy is produced by nuclear power? And according to the U.S. Energy Administration, 17% of our power comes from renewable energy sources, which is, wind, solar, hydro, things like that. 20% is nuclear, 23% is coal, and 38% is natural gas. Now, natural gas and coal are two of the biggest polluters when it comes to power production. And nuclear power produces 0 carbon emissions. So could you imagine a world where the entire planet is running off of, totally clean energy that produces 0 pollutants for our environment? Of course, all types of power have their own uses. If we weren't if we weren't getting natural gas out of the ground, the scientists in Antarctica and the North Pole would be dead. But there is a serious opportunity for nuclear power.